raise your hand if you're still on a high from the last game. And there's 3 games left. Should be exciting. I can't wait.
Yeah. Definitely still on the high. I'll mention it now. I have watched that AKB save probably like 100 times. I'll scroll. I'll watch it. I'll watch it again. Like, I've watched it 100 times.
I should set that. I should set that as my wallpaper.
Yeah.
On my phone.
Yes, you should. You should. I should now. I mean, literally everyone is talking about it. Our video, the one we put out about the game, literally has been our most viewed video in a very long time. The most comments, the most interests. I mean, but every single video I see talking about the game or AKB or about the whole team has blown up. So that's how much interest there was in this game and what happened. I was stunned with how many people not just were watching, but just had the emotions that we had. Like, I was stunned. But so that's another reason I'm kind of making this video, because the England-Italy game is tomorrow, but there's a couple things I want to go over from the Germany game. That was a big intro, but how's it going, everyone? Timestamps down below if you've made it this far, because there's a few stories we do want to go over. I have already messed up the flow of this video because I had a little outline I wanted to talk about, but going back to watching AKB's
Save of the Century.
Yeah, she had a dance too with that.
Yeah.
Going back to talk about that save of Ann Katrin, and I wanted to relive her Olympic moments because she had such a major viral moment at the Olympics as well, when the game against Canada where she took the PK, she scored, and she saved 2 PKs, saved that game, and then the game where she saved the PK against Alexia. That was basically the save that won them the bronze medal. That game as well. So I wanted to go relive these moments, because to have 2 summers in a row where you're the story and it's your heroics, I can't get over that. We say this a lot, but there is going to be an Ann Katrin movie at some point.
It's so funny because I wonder if she likes all the attention, because she doesn't seem like she would. Kind of like Alyssa Nair vibes, kind of like, cool uncle vibes.
Yeah. They had the camera on her after the game. I think she said it in German, like, don't look at me, look at the team. Like, it's like the team, it's not just me. So she looked like she wanted to make sure they got their kudos as well.
Yeah, I would definitely get camera shy.
Yeah. And you know what, the other thing, when we did our video about the game, 2 things happened. One, we didn't even talk about the first French player to take her PK, I believe Lemagere. That weird run-up that she did, where she was like a 90-degree angle from the ball. From what I read, Ann Katrin knew exactly where she was going based on that kind of unorthodox run-up. But based on that, you only can go in one direction, because you can't go to the left, right? Your body, how could your body hit the ball to the left? Because I don't know, maybe you could.
Yeah, it's a wild angle, but I mean, AKB has unorthodox ways as well, so it's, it's wild.
And then also, we didn't even mention when Ann Katrin saved the last penalty as well. I think we're going to read a comment about it, that Ann Katrin did not do her standard arms behind her back. She put her arms out to the side, and some people are saying she knew exactly where the French player is going to put that ball, because she was confident. So she didn't have her normal stance, and I thought that was interesting too. She kind of knew where I was going, so she said, okay, I'm ready for it. Also, I kind of didn't give props to everyone who took their PKs. Everyone, actually, the French had a pretty solid PKs. Germany really had solid PKs, so everyone did a good job there. But apparently the French didn't even practice for their PKs, which probably didn't help. Also, I guess the title of this video is going to be what we're going to talk about now. A couple of the French players, one in particular, I don't think they took the loss very well, because I mean, who would? But they kind of had some fighting words about how they didn't think Germany deserved to win, which is kind of a crazy position. But even before we get into what we're going to read, I give anyone who's in this position grace, because they've just had an absolutely heartbreaking defeat. This isn't anything negative. I wanted to read the story because it was a story that caught my eye, but I definitely give this player grace. I don't think there's nothing wrong. Nothing bad of them or anything, but it is interesting.
Bad loser Selma Bacha grumbles Germany. don't even deserve Euro 2025 quarterfinal win as France exit on penalties. Ann Katrin-Berger was the hero for Germany as her side held out for 107 minutes, a player down, to force a penalty shootout with France. Despite hitting the bar and having 2 goals ruled out for offsides, France was defeated 6-5 in the shootout, with Berger saving twice. Selma Bacha, who herself gave away a second-half spot kick, was reluctant to praise the record 8-time Euro champions. Selma Bacha admitted she was a bad loser and told UEFA Euro 2025 semifinalist Germany that they don't even deserve their Final Four spot. The record 8-time Euro champions won 6-5 on penalties after holding France to an eventful 1-1 draw, having played 107 minutes with 10 players. But inspired goalkeeping from Ann Katrin-Berger kept the scoreline level after Nuskin had netted an unlikely first-half equalizer. Yes, bad luck. They didn't offer anything to us, said Bacha. When asked the reason for their defeat, they defended, they were there, they were aggressive, but we dominated them from start to finish. Now they're through. I'm sorry to say that, but they don't even deserve it. Ooh, those are some wild words. Is that translated properly?
Yeah, that's one of the questions. Yeah,
it's pretty wild.
That's one of the questions. So yeah, so take it with a little bit of understanding. It might be a little translated.
It's a bit harsh, Gretch. And then she says, "Now I'm a bad loser. That's normal. I'm committed to taking my country as far as possible. Good luck to them anyway. But that's the way it is. That's life."
So yeah, so those were some pretty. I don't think she lost very well. It's hard because, you know, she has this press conference or interview right after they lose a heartbreaking match, and they had done so well in the group stage, and she even admits she's a bad loser. You know, I don't even think it's a bad loser necessarily. I almost think she's stunned, and she's kind of letting her emotions get to her, just like anyone would. But she kind of had those words, and people were kind of surprised. Now, she did also say. So she also said, I don't want to leave this part out.
To be fair, she started the interview with Germany was exceptional because they held firmly at 10, and she was more sad and disappointed than angry and upset. I feel that the interview went a bit too long for her with an extra question, and the question was, I believe, was France unlucky? And having already said all she wanted and all she needed to say, she fell in the journalist's trap.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's another thing, you know, you interview players right after they have a heartbreaking loss. You kind of keep going with the interview, then you kind of say maybe what's on your mind. So I don't think anything bad of her, like nothing like that. I think she just kind of was saying what she thought.
Sometimes the journalists get it out of you,
yeah.
or misquote you, even worse.
That's true. But she said they offered nothing. She said they offered nothing. They defended well. They were aggressive, but we dominated them from A to Z. And this was actually another quote from another player. They said, they were down 10 players and basically parked the bus. I have nothing more to say about it. So I think the French team was very frustrated with their game plan. You know, they quote unquote parked the bus, played defense. But what were Germany supposed to do at that point? I saw another comment that said, when you're down a player, that's pretty much what you can do. That's the most effective strategy. And very few teams play offense when you have a player down. And I think it frustrated France, but I also think it showed France's inexperience to say, okay, they're playing this way. We have to figure out a way to utilize our extra player because they're going to park the bus or they're just playing defense. Because most people are saying, if you can't win with one more person on the field, you don't deserve that win. And that's the part I kind of believe. That's the part I really do agree with. If you have one more player and you can't win, do you deserve to win? What does deserve really mean? But I still say yes. I think if you can't win with an equal playing field, then you weren't the better team. They didn't get lucky. You know what I mean? And being down practically the entire game. It's not like they were down just the last 10 minutes or 20 minutes or 30 minutes or 40. You know, you get what I'm saying? So if they couldn't win being one player up and figuring out how to, hey, Germany's going to park the bus. We got to figure this out. I think that shows the inexperience from the team or the panic or a lot of things or the experience from the German team. So I did see that from Bacha, but like, again, I want to make this, I do want to say nothing. I don't think anything bad. I think she's just expressing herself and that's how she was feeling. In the heat of the moment, she just lost this match. I can't even imagine the emotions these players go through, especially being exhausted. Mm-hmm. Gosh, I mow the lawn and I get exhausted.
It's true.
We do have a big lawn, though. Okay, so did everyone see that? Who saw that? But I did see that. I have a bunch of comments I want to read, but I'm just going to read those all at the end. Because the other kind of big story we're going to talk about is talking about something really upsetting. We talked about Ann Katrin-Berger having one of the best weeks of her life, saving her team. But her fiancé, Jess Carter, is almost having the opposite, and it's so upsetting to see and hear about because, you and I have talked about it. Women's football isn't like men's football in a lot of ways. And maybe I try to tell myself it's not, you know what I mean? But then when stories like this come out, then it's almost like, are they more similar than I want to believe or than I want to accept, because I'll have Sara read the headline.
England defender Jess Carter steps back from social media after racist abuse. Team condemns online poison. England's Jess Carter says she will step back from social media after the defender said she has received a lot of racist abuse since the beginning of the 2025 UEFA Women's Euros. Carter has started all 4 matches for England as the team has reached the semi-final stage of the tournament where the Lionesses are seeking to win their second consecutive European Championship. Then she said, "While I feel every fan is entitled to their opinion on performance and result, I don't agree or think it's okay to target someone's appearance or race," the 27-year-old said in a statement posted across her social media channels. "As a result of this, I will be taking a step back from social media and leaving it to a team to deal with." Carter added that she is making the decision to protect herself in a bid to keep my focus on helping the team any way I can. Hopefully speaking out will make the people writing this abuse think twice, so others won't have to deal with it. We had made some historic changes with this Lioness squad that I'm so proud to be a part of, and my hope is that by speaking out about this, it will make another positive change for all.
So she posted that on her Instagram and across all her socials, and then the Lionesses came out with a statement. This is, we support Jess Carter and we condemn, and anything we can do to make sure we protect her, that's what we're doing. And then news just came out today that the England team will no longer be taking a knee, which they have been doing for all their games to stand against racism and injustice. They will no longer be taking a knee because what they basically said is, I'll read the quote.
We feel as a collective, is the message as strong as it used to be? Braun's question. Is the message really hitting hard? Because it feels like it's not if these things are still happening to our players in the biggest tournament of our lives. More needs to be done in football and society, and what that is right now as an individual, I don't know exactly. Okay, it is clear we and football need to find another way to tackle racism, a statement from the Lionesses squad read. No one should have to endure such vile abuse, be that in football or any walk of life. Those behind this online poison must be held accountable.
And where Jess had made that statement, so many footballers, teams, everyone just said, we stand behind you and everyone who has to deal with this racism. So, but what Lucy said there, the knee, I guess it's not doing as much as it could be or should be. So they're not going to take a knee, almost like a protest to say, what else can we need to figure out something. The one thing I do like, it seems like zero tolerance at stadiums. That's good. That's a start. Hopefully it's zero tolerance at stadiums. So it's just so upsetting, especially like the biggest problem, I think, no consequences for people who say vile things. Like, I don't know if there's a way to find people's IP addresses. I don't know if there's a way to, other than finding people's IP addresses. You know what I have heard in the past? Making social media where it's your first and last, like, government name. Like, if you want to comment, it's going to be your first name and your last name, your government name. And if you want to leave a comment, you can, but it's going to be, there's a way to hold some of these people accountable, because that's what's happening. Or maybe the platforms need to be way better at filtering comments going to the person. If there's anything questionable, AI filters it out where no one sees the light of day. You get what I'm saying? Like, So I don't know. It's just upsetting. And to know that these, that knowing that players have to deal with this, someone shouldn't have to go away from their social media. They shouldn't have to. But for your own protection, it's like you have to. People can do, if they see anything questionable, flag it, report it to whatever platform you're on, But what's happening, I think people are DMing these players, Jess Carter, in her DM saying you played like shit and adding racist stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you didn't play well, but also racist stuff, which is just, it's like, it's upsetting.
That's disgusting and vile. And why the hell would anyone do that?
Yeah.
God, I actually hate people who do that. Like,
it's disgusting. So I just pray she's okay. I pray, and everyone who has to deal with this. And it's like, you play a bad game, you're already upset at yourself, and then you have to deal with racism. It's like, and it's not a new thing. Did everyone see that? It was upsetting. And like, having that, Ann Katrin having the best week because she's did amazing, save it, great, and then her fiance, who she loves more than anything in the world, having one of the worst weeks of her life. I just can't imagine the emotions, and it just sucks. We're just gonna read a couple comments. We'll just do comments at the end, so these might be about the first story. Okay, these comments are in no order, but I saw this thing. It says best game of all time, because that's what I titled the video, the Germany versus France game. And a couple people were like, it wasn't quite the best game of all time. It was a good game, but we just got excited. Also, this got the most likes on our comment. It says, because we talk a lot about AKB, like being superstar, but someone says, I think outstanding performances of Kett, Brand, and Hoffmann aren't appreciated enough. All players played above their limits. And Katrin certainly delivered the best performance, but the entire team performance was fantastic. That's how you win games, even when outnumbered and with many setbacks. Absolutely. It was just such a team effort. Going back to what Bacha said also, someone says right here, they deserve to win. Resilient and totally solid. I salute them. And then I actually didn't realize this, but it says
Germany's team is actually very slightly younger than the French. 25.7 versus 26.2 years on average. Pretty much all the German veterans have retired. Oh, it's wild to think about.
Yeah, and I'm thinking just for the whole squad, not just for the players who played in this game, but I was under the impression that maybe Germany was a bit younger, but knowing that even more so makes me think, wow. And then I thought this fact was crazy.
Little fun fact, in Germany, where 80 million people live, more than 10 million were watching in this game. That is a huge number for a women's game, and even for the male team, it would be good.
Yeah. So out of 80 million people, which I didn't know even Germany had that many in population, 10 million were watching. So I was very surprised to hear that. So talking about AKB's last save, I saw this comment.
I knew at the moment that AKB would save the last shot when the French woman took the ball in her hand and went to the spot. There was so much uncertainty in her eyes. AKB has also seen this and made her even more insecure. The only time AKB didn't have her arms behind her back, but up. That nailed the coffin shut. Yeah, you're so right. She was probably actually getting in the player's head, like, hey, I know exactly what you're going to do. I don't have to do my usual stance.
Yeah. Oof. I love that. And then, when I was editing the video, I also noticed this. I kept saying offsides with the S, plural. It's just offside. I always put an S, I think just because, I don't know why. I think there's more than one. For some reason, I always say that, but yeah, I noticed that I kept saying that, but I'll be better about that. And then I didn't realize this. We talked about Germany had never lost to France. As we know, Germany's going to play Spain in the semifinals. And I didn't realize this.
You talked about France never winning against Germany. Do you know that Spain never won against Germany as well? It's crazy to think of when you see what Spain is capable of. But after that Germany versus France match, I don't see that breaking for Spain either, to be honest. I don't know how Germany will make it, against all odds, but they will make it.
Yeah, I like that. So historically, Spain has never beaten Germany in a major tournament either. So that's kind of crazy. I'm not counting out Germany at this point. That game's going to be on Thursday or Friday. I think Thursday. Tomorrow's game is going to be Italy versus England. Now, this video is probably going to come out right before that game, but a lot of people are predicting England to win, which makes sense, but they kind of got beat up last game. We didn't know if Leah Williamson was going to return for this game, but apparently she was in training. I believe she's going to be available for that game tomorrow. We'll see if she starts. I do think England's gonna win, but I'm ready for an upset. Like, yes, I want England to win. I'm an England fan, but I'm ready for I'm ready for an upset. I don't know. It'd be great for Italy too. And then I'll read this one last comment.
Taking the knee is like putting a plaster on a bullet wound, and everyone knows it. It's so people can act like they care or are doing something about it. It's not real change or action. It's a pointless waste of time. We need real change. That's a good point.
Yeah, that was kind of harsh about the idea of taking a knee, but the last part I thought was the most impactful. The real change need to happen. So, the Lionesses are saying that's not changing anything. We need to actually do something. What does everyone think? Questions, comments down below. Who do you have for England, Italy? I still have England, but I'm ready for an upset. I'd be very excited for the Italian girls. Spain versus Germany on Thursday. We will do a video after the Spain-Italy game, so we'll talk more about that. Questions, comments down below. We'll talk to everyone later. Have a great night. Bye.
Bye.